faffing around getting set up out here. So I missed your opening keynote speech, but I know that a lot of people couldn't make it here today because we're completely sold out. So, firstly, how did the speech go? Did the audience enjoy it?
I think so, Stuart. They all stay until the end. Very tough questions at the end, and I could see them nodding and agreeing with some of the ideas I was sharing. So I think it was a good start of the day.
I should hope so. So the topic of the keynote speech was PMOs rest in peace.
Yeah.
I'm a PMO.
Yeah.
So what was the topic about? How does that? I'm not in danger, am I?
No, I think you have the chances to become like a C-suite executive. You have the chances, but we need to change. I think everything is changing. Why PMOs and project management doesn't change? So that's kind of the philosophy. And then one of the big arguments was saying PMOs are usually part of a hierarchy.
Yeah.
If we're moving out of hierarchies, we're moving to more flatter and project-based organization. The PMO doesn't make any sense anymore. So I'm not saying it's disappearing. It disappears. It's dead if we don't change it. So we need to adapt it on a world where there's thousands of projects in organization, not just 20. When I started in a PMO, there were maybe 25 projects. Now we're talking about 2,500. So it's just very, very different world. I call it the project economy, meaning the future of work is project-based. So we need to adapt, and we need to adapt quickly. That's the only thing.
Okay. So what kind of form will that adaptation take, as far as you can see?
Yeah, well, I think there's I talk about a few areas, but one of them it's important. I think we probably, Stuart, you know this debate between should you use Agile or should you use waterfall, and you had to choose, and Agile is nice, and project management is old, and that's completely wrong. So one thing that we need to do is embrace everything. You need to add Agile, you need to understand traditional, predictive, you need to understand Lean Startup, Six Sigma. So we need to build better tool sets, better competencies for organizations to thrive through change. So that's one of the most important. Second is we need to start focusing more on benefits, right? We love to focus on deliverables, milestones, scope-related topics, but nobody cares. So we're reporting on things that very few people care. People care about benefits, impact, value, financial sustainability. So we need to really quickly move from the traditional reporting to value-based benefits and drive that. So that's two of the main topics I share.
It seems to be a difficult area for people who are the leaders of organizations to think in terms of benefits. They set up something like a corporate strategy where it's like, we want to be more profitable, we want more growth, we want to excite customers or things like that. And they will set themselves that target without really ever wanting to truly commit to a specific number.
Yeah.
And when we get into the project space and the program space, we start looking at that kind of thing. Is there any way to kind of bridge that gap with the C-suite and start to get them thinking more in line of what we know already is best practice, but maybe to them is an uncomfortable space to be?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Stuart. And it's back on that focus on benefits, and we need to feel empowered. I was telling that to the audiences that, like you say, we have an issue because people don't want to commit, don't want to go for dates. And I think we have the right to force them to do that or say, let's stop it because we're not going to anywhere. So I also say that we require a more executive mindset, which we are empowered. In projects, PMOs, there's no hierarchies. Although in our heads, we respect very much hierarchy. And if we talk to a person high up, we respect it and we're afraid. And I say, no, stop that. You are at the same level. In a PMO, you're at the same level almost as the CEO because you're driving strategic and you can challenge the CEO and say, listen, for these three initiatives, we don't have benefits. Let's stop them. The executives are not showing up. Let's stop them. Why don't we do that? We know that's an issue. We know that leads to project delays, but we don't do it. I say, no, in this new world, we need to step up and say, we have the right to stop. We have the right to talk to senior leaders, to the CEO, to the president of your country. If projects are not working, you have the right to stop them.
Do you think that has a bit to do with the mentality that maybe a lot of people come into the PMO profession? They really want to help people. And they don't like to say no. They don't like to be seen as difficult.
Yeah.
Do you think there might be something to do with the mentality there?
Yeah, and I had that. I think it was self-development that you need to go through, and it's not easy to start in that level. But definitely, yeah, we like to help, and and sometimes you need to say no. Sometimes you need to say we're missing this. We need to stop the project, or we cannot continue like that. You need to confront some senior leaders. So that's a bit difficult, and it requires some self-development. But if we do want to make a success in this profession, in the future look of the PMO that I call the Chief Project Officer, we need executives who can drive and take these tough decisions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, as my final question, if you try to envisage what the future of the PMO looks like, what does that look like to you?
I think it's a bit of I think there will be different PMOs. I think it depends on the type of initiatives that I always say that you need to split a bit the initiatives that you do, the projects. Some of them will be more transformational type of ideas and projects. Some of them more be about running the business more efficient. So I think there will be specialized PMOs which are embedded into, it's kind of business units, right? You are running a project, but maybe you run what's happening afterwards. So it's more fluid type of PMO, which report to an entity which I call the Chief Project Office, which covers all the amount of projects that we have. So it's an evolution from the PMO, which is today mostly back office, middle office, to an office that drives and generates value. If you have 80% of the resources in your business doing project-based activity, you should be able to bring 80% of the value, the revenues at least. So it's evolving into really, it's for me, it's kind of the driving office of the future.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Stuart. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
And if you're watching today and you're not able to be at the conference, make sure to keep watching today. Stay tuned to House of PMO. There are going to be lots more videos, lots more insights like this. So make sure to subscribe to the channel wherever you're finding it. Make sure to hit the like button and share it with your colleagues. And let's get the word out there. The PMO has to change.
Yeah.